Right, good morning guys and girls. So we zoomed out on the Bitcoin chart on the 4 hour. So I just want to start off with this. Remember this range that we had here? I've shown you this fixed pull range. When we dropped down here, you can see we dropped into that value area there, and that's where we are right now. We're just inside that value area, so I think we need to get out of there to confirm that we're in the upper range. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. And if we switch that one off, we can zoom in slightly. I'm just going to go in a lower time frame here. Right, so yesterday we were around here when I last spoke to you. Remember we said we are on our, let me go down to the 15, we can see a little bit clearer. We said we were on a higher high, higher low, and then we needed to make a higher high, so we did that yesterday, and we made a higher low, and again a higher high, higher low, and then we struggled there, and that's when I left the charts last night. But we did eventually do that. I think that was, there's the Asia Open, so just before the Asia Open we made a higher high, and yes, yet again a higher low. So let's see how that holds up. And remember I had this daily level in there, and I said we needed to hold that, so I can now take that off my chart because we actually held that, we confirmed that level. And then you can see these, so yesterday I don't normally keep the weekly point of control on my chart, but I saw it was respected and I decided to put it in. So it changes constantly during the week, but this morning it's still on 37,600, the same as that previous week low. It had just been respected really well during the course of yesterday and maybe the day before. And then obviously the weekly open, it just adds to the confluence up here, so there's a bit of congestion here, and I think we're gonna need some momentum to get out of here, as I showed you just now, that value area low as well, value area high as well, of that range from quite a while back. So to conclude on this view that we have here, we're definitely in a bullish trend, upwards trend here on the short term. Now that's only for the last 2 days. Yeah, yesterday morning early it started, and that's where we are now. So if we go, I just want to go to another chart, show you, if we take this range from where we dropped here, it was that big drop, we dropped into this range here. You can also see once again the value area low. It all adds up to that level there, around 38,000, 38,200. We need to get into that value area to confirm that we're out of this bottom range. Then I've got another range here. If you just take it from the bottom to where we are now, you can see that point of control acted as good strong support, and we're right on that high volume node now. So we get through that, you can see there's not a lot of action there, and we might have quite a bit of a push up to 42. So that's a bit of a zoomed out view, and there's still a lot of traffic on the way up there. I just want to add some of these levels. Now that value area low of that range, you can see where we have some support there. It also corresponds with that swing failure pattern I have there. Just for the downside, we need to keep these numbers in the back of our mind. The 35,500 area there. Also, while we're on this view, you'll see I've marked that swing failure pattern of there, so I'm not 100% convinced that we're actually going up. Bitcoin does what it wants, but like I said, just keep that in the back of your mind. If we come down, there's a lot of liquidity there, because you can see there could be a lot of stop losses there for that trade up there. So I just can't see how Bitcoin won't go down and pick up that liquidity. It just doesn't make sense to me. But if it does, we must still keep that in the back of our minds for the future. We might later come back to that. Just want to see if I've got another fixed range pull there for you. That was that one from long ago. Yeah, I've just showed that to you. Okay, and then I just want to switch these. Okay, let's leave them on. We look at the Fibonacci. You'll see if we take a pull from the lows there to the highs there, we basically landed between the 618 and the 786, so that is quite a good zone, mathematical zone. I think I looked at the daily, and on the daily, I mean, we just basically, we can't say we week 3, we did close the daily below that, but never below the 786, so that is quite an important level. And then if we zoom in a little closer, let me just clear some of this out. We don't want to see all of that. We've got that. I'm just going to switch off that Fibonacci. And then the other one, if we to see where we bounced off here, I think we can take it from the highest pivot there. Well, that was definitely the most important pivot to the low pivot. No surprises. So important to use the Fibonacci and use this golden pocket, because Bitcoin sometimes overshoots because everybody pulls these Fibonaccis, and then it goes a bit deeper, it goes back. See there, it pulled up there, normally it goes back because now it knows there's a lot of stop losses there, and it goes and picks up those stop losses, and they laugh at the retail traders that just stuck to the 618. So it's obvious my plan for today is we need to clear that level there, so we just go back to my trading chart. So just to share my thoughts with you, what I'll probably do here is we're obviously in a uptrend, so I'm going to look for longs in the first place, depending if where we are. So if we, and this is how I think, if we start coming down here, I'll wait for some sign here. I'll just have a look at the volume to see, you know, if it's a good long or not. If there's sign of weakness, I won't enter. So maybe this will be what I'll do. See, Bitcoin can easily come down to the 786 level, to that level there. So, but if I cover that and I just stay below that, then you'll see my stop loss is 0.3%. So, and I'm trading on 3x leverage, so that's 0.9. So it's 1% risk that I have, so I won't target right up there. So my first take profit will probably be there at that previous day point of control, around there, because that's the first resistance we'll see. Maybe that VWAP, that session VWAP, that little green line, that's decent. So I'll close 50% of my trade there. That's what I do with these small trades, and then I'll target the top there, but I won't go for the top. I'll front run it maybe on this level here, on that previous day value area high, because that there might be some resistance. So just before that, I'll close another 25%, and then I'll leave 25% to see where it goes to. But that's like that's a scalp trade, really small. Yeah, that's my thoughts there. If we don't come down here, I won't jump into a trade. I will wait for that, for the swing failure pattern of that. Maybe look at that high there and see how it reacts, and then I'll rather go for a short. But I know it's a short-term short, because we're probably not going to go lower than this low if we stay in this bullish trend. I hope that all makes sense. And I just want to share my thinking. Today's video is a little longer. My thinking around a trade, or last night I opened a trade. So I looked at maps. I've really had some success with maps. You can also see overnight it had a 5% push to the top. But I had a problem last night, because we were on this range point of control, and it looked like a bit of resistance, where last night was there 5 o'clock. No, it was there. Oh yeah, it did drop down a little bit. So if I pulled my Fibonacci from there to there, you can see that's where the golden pocket was. And I wasn't sure, I couldn't stay awake, so I wasn't sure if the VWAP was going to be support, which it was, or if it's going to retrace to there, because I wasn't sure about Bitcoin, because it was in a slightly local downtrend last night. So that was my idea, and then my stop loss had to be down here, and that was quite deep, and my ratio, risk to reward ratio, was just not, it looked really bad, because I have to take that big support resistance flip line or area into consideration. So that would have been my first take profit, although it's just 10% and 10% of my position I'll close there, but at 6% on 3x leverage is 18%. Probably would have front run that a bit and at around 15%, but still that didn't look good to me. Okay, so the other altcoin that's been really good to me is Oxygen. Just going to zoom out a bit to give you a little view of where we are right now. So that was the all-time highs. This is the BTC Oxygen BTC pair. So I don't trade this pair, but remember I told you we always look at, this is where we find our analysis and the base of our thoughts. If I take that Fibonacci from there to there, you'll see we really bounced well off of there, and I know we're running into that VWAP, which will be resistance, and that support resistance flip that I've got in there. That's like a major line there. But then last night was down here, I think there 10 o'clock around there, and I thought, you know, we still okay up to that VWAP. We've still got 7%. 7 times 3 is 21, so that's fine for my first take profit. And then 8% there, that works out to 24%. And it just looked much better than the maps trade. So, and then I also add this speed fan, Fibonacci speed fan. I don't normally use the 886, but that's like the bottom of the range. You use the 786 and in extreme conditions the 886. And then I had a look at that and I thought, yeah, that's just, there's some nice confluence there onto that key level. That was the low that was put in there, and there was just, well, there's three confluences there, sorry. And I thought that was good enough for me. And then let me just go on to the actual trade, or the one that I trade, Oxygen Perpetual, that's like USD, Oxygen USD. You'll see on here as well, it corresponds that Fibonacci. Here we push through to the 6.6 level, where on the BTC pair only the 6.18 level, and then that also looked really good to me. Let me just go a bit deeper into this trade. I think the anchored view app didn't have, okay, that's also what I wanted to say. So there's a key level there, up there. So you see there's also resistance, and there's also that anchored view app, that's also resistance we might run into. But I still thought there's some good action up ahead. I'm quite zoomed in here. Zoomed out here. So if I put my trade in and I come down to the 15 minutes, it all starts to look a lot different. So very, very important to put your take profits in before you go to bed. So I always make sure that I've got extreme positions, take profits there, because we might have a wicked week up and then I want to make use of that opportunity, which we did there. Just look at that. It just looks completely out of place that week. I took my take profit one, so this trade is already a profitable trade. I'm still debating if I want to move my stop loss right up here. Let me just zoom out a bit. I might bring my stop loss up to the 6.6 level for now, and because I am at 11%, that is quite a big stop loss. Bring it up there, then all of a sudden that is like a third. I lower my risk by 66%. So just wanted to show you these trades, and I obviously I go in with smaller positions on the altcoins. I've told you that before, and once this is in a profitable, once I move my stop loss to my entry, then I'll go back to maps or whatever charts. I did try a basic attention token, but I got stopped out there, not yesterday but about 2 days ago. That is, I've got quite a lot of, I watched basic attention token. Well, that's obviously on my watch list. And just something interesting, basic attention token is actually a platform that works. So they run the Brave, how do you say, the Brave browser. So that's quite a high security browser. If you're into privacy, you can check you sort of get, you can also do ads there, but you can allow which ads you want to see. So it's quite an interesting, maybe you want to read up on basic attention token. That's also, I did look at them last night as well. Would have been a good trade, but It was Oxygen was the won my favor, and I'll definitely look at maps again if we find a retrace. I won't just jump in, or I will look for that support resistance flip and maybe wait till we get above that. But on these altcoins, I normally want them to confirm on the 4-hour chart. So once they've confirmed, there you can enter. But like I said, on the 4-hour, so normally you have weeks over your lines, support resistance lines, on the 30 minutes, 1 hour. But I find minimum 4-hour. Otherwise, it might just be a fake out. Okay, been rambling on for quite a while. Keep your eyes on the charts, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Cheers.